Welcome everyone to another episode of the Houston Texans rebuild and to the second half of the 2027 season. We are 4-3-1 after not being able to win any game after the bye week. So let's see if we can turn the ship around in the second half of the season and secure a playoff spot. This is the Wobbegong. Let's get it started. The last episode ended with some overreactions. Of course, we are on top of our division, but 4-3-1 is not the best record. However, the last games or all the games we lost or tied were against really good opponents, except from the Tennessee Titans, but lost against the 7-2 Ravens, tied against the 6-1-1 Saints, lost against the 7-1 Cincinnati Bengals. So I think we're still fine, still on track. And if we have a look at the second part of the schedule, only the Pittsburgh Steelers with a 6-2 and Buffalo Bills with a 5-3 record are really good right now. As said, the game against the Titans was the very first game in our division. We still play the Titans again, the Colts twice, and the Jaguars twice. Yeah, we should be able to win against them, hopefully, if we're not performing like we did against the Tennessee Titans in Week 8. But I think we should still be fine. Defense is looking good. Offense could be better. But I cannot bench Norberto Everson at this point. We're still on track, so maybe if we're losing the next 3 games or so, I will bench him. But interception-wise, 7 interceptions in 8 games. If he continues at this pace, I'm not happy. If he keeps it at 7 interceptions, okay, that's fine. But currently, he could play better. And James Robinson is back for 1 year. He is currently on track for 10 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, and also already with 1 receiving touchdown. So maybe worth the really expensive contract for next year. And speaking of contracts, I made up my mind about AIDAN Hutchinson. So first of all, we're already at 212 million for next year. So with AIDAN Hutchinson, 20 million, we would be at 232, only 18 million left, and basically no linebacker. Tremaine Edmonds, Leighton Van Der Esch, and Matthew Judon with expiring contracts. So I definitely won't offer him a multi-year contract. What I'm going to do for AIDAN Hutchinson is I'm going to franchise tag him. So 3 sacks, currently not the best, but if he doubles that, still some time left, it will be his second best season. Still not good at all. But also, I cannot let a top 3 pick, 91 overall player just walk into free agency and just let him go. So I will franchise tag him if we need money and there is another good edge rusher or something like that. I can do the typical tag and trade option, trade him away. Maybe getting a first round pick for him, a late first round, I would assume. If not, we have him on the team for another year with just under 20 million as it is projected right now. I would be fine with that, but in case, as I said, we need more cap, we can trade him. So he will receive his first franchise tag, not earning a contract over multiple years, but a prove-it deal, kind of. So let's see, maybe the second half of the season is his breakout. But now we're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 6-2. Time to bounce back for us. Okay. Everything I said, you can forget now. Everson is benched after that game. He is benched. 4 interceptions. Well, sorry, buddy, but that's it for you right now. Horrible performance. Oh, wow. And Campbell, I thought he was a good replacement for Jan Cole on guard, but third game, third sack allowed. I mean, he played more than that. 9 games already, but only started 2 already. 3 sacks allowed. Oh, whoa, whoa. The team is falling apart, I would say. That is not looking good. We're now 4-4-1. Injury, no new ones, and AIDAN Hutchinson. Oh, wow. Yeah, there was still a contract out there. Thankfully, he did not sign that. Will receive the franchise tag, but it's time for a new era. Maybe just a few games, but it's time for Mark Ricker. And for everyone who missed it in the last couple of episodes, Mark Ricker, outstanding intelligence. Other than that, nothing special. But his last year for the LA Rams was just something else. Really good stats. And hopefully he can continue at that pace for us. He's definitely the cheaper option. $3 million per year. Long-term contract. So if he can save the Texans in the second half of the season, he will be my franchise quarterback. Maybe. So it's Mark Ricker now. Let's see if we can win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I forgot to change to make Mark Ricker also our quarterback number 1 on the offensive package number 2. Just did that. So now he is going to start. Let's see if we can win against the Jacksonville Jaguars with Mark Ricker as our new quarterback. Yes, we can, but not the best game. 3 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, not sure if he's the answer. Not sure. Also again, AIDAN Hutchinson with no sack. Well, it's really hard. I just don't know what to do. It's a difficult season. I mean, we have a good team, just not performing like we should now against the Tennessee Titans. Please don't, no other upset. No, thank God. It's Ricker with 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, who leads the team to another win. Robinson with a rushing touchdown. De Silva, great performance of him this season. Already the touchdown number he had last year, and also nearly 1,000 yards. So he is wide receiver number 1 without any question. And Samuel Sierra with a great game. Driscoll with a really good game. 2 interceptions by our safety, who is now 90 overall. And sack-wise, AIDAN Hutchinson and Brian Burns. He should be at double digits right now. Yes, 11 sacks with 11 games. That's good. Finally, he's playing up to his potential and up to his contract, I would say. So now let's check if there are any new injuries. Did I already check that? Yeah, maybe I just did not click at the other news. But right now, no reason to bench Mark Ricker just yet. Now playing the Indianapolis Colts. And we're 7-4-1. Right now, Mark Ricker also, again, not the best completion percentage. But at least we can win right now. Still not happy with his performance, but I'm really worried to change it back. We're now on a 3-game win streak, and Mark Ricker is doubtful. Well, and he's the training schedule. Do I have him on a hard training schedule? Let me check. That would be, yeah, he's on a hard training schedule. Everyone with over 90 work ethic, I have them on a hard training schedule, which basically means that I spent all 25 points, if I'm not mistaken. But now changed that to default, but that gives Norberto Everson again a chance to play. I mean, hard training schedule would be fine if he's only a backup, but now starting. I forgot to change that back. Now against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we win. And this time it should be Everson. And he's having a good performance. So we have a QB battle here. We definitely do. So I will evaluate both of them in a second. But first of all, let's look at the stats. De Silva, another touchdown. Who is Scott, by the way? Ah, that's Paul Scott. I was just confused. Yeah, our rookie, not many touchdowns. Yeah, only his second this year. Defensively, Sierra with another interception. He's also still on his rookie contract. Yeah, need to re-sign him next season. That is also going to be very expensive. What a pick. Former safety, I guess. Yeah, former free safety. We changed his position to cornerback. Now really adjusting to that. Made the right move, of course. And Brian Burns just continues to impress. We're now in week 15. And no new injuries. Mark Ricker still questionable this time because of... Oh no, still fatigue. We still crushed him. So questionable. I think he would be out for the game. So we can sim another week with Norberto Everson as the starter. But we're now 8-4-1, leading the division. The Bengals, really great performance so far this year. Let's see if we can win against the Indianapolis Colts. Again, Everson should be the starter. We win. And decent performance of Everson. I mean, now it's really critical for him to play good because we have the backup, and as you saw, I was not shying away from putting Mark Ricker in, but now Ricker should be back again, and it's time for, no, still questionable, and AIDAN Hutchinson is out as always. He cannot stay healthy. That really hurts. So let's play another week until Ricker is back again. That was, again, a mistake on my side. Should have changed the training schedule. And we win again. Everson, again with 2 interceptions. Brevin Jordan, maybe his first touchdown. Paul Scott, also in the stat sheet. 2 interceptions overall. Sierra, great season so far. Montalvo with 2 sacks. So the rookie... It's really contributing. 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. I think that's fine for his rookie season. Brian Burns, just the X factor right now on defense. He really is. Great season. Developing star. Definitely a fair trade. But already 30 years old, so not sure how much there still is left in the tank. But I think he made got better in training camp, so he's on the right track, of course. So injury report, many players probable, and that leaves us with a final look at the standings right now. 2 games left to play. We are basically safe for the playoffs, so on a 6-game win streak, we definitely bounced back. That's great to see. But now let's take a more detailed look at the stats at our quarterback room right now. Completion percentage, Everson is a little bit better. QB rate, Mark Ricker is just marginally better. Interception-wise, I mean, you need to take that into proportion, but still Mark Ricker has more touchdowns compared to interceptions than Norberto Everson has. And let's take a look, or a more detailed look, first at, where can I see that? At games. So value per snap, 3.55 for Norberto Everson. That seems really low if I remember correctly. I mean, as you can see, it can be really high. Okay, only 1 snap played, so don't even bother. I don't I don't pay too much attention to value per snap. That's really detailed analysis. I mean, you can look at so many stats here in this game. I really love that. But yeah, just not spent the time to actually do that. But now for our QB battle, who's going to be our starter from now on? Norberto Everson, season grade A, attitude A+, awareness A, effort A, and performance B+. For Mark Ricker, it's similar, but the performance is better. Effort A+ for Everson. It was only A, also awareness here A, and for Ricker A+. Same season grade, but Mark Ricker has 2.82 and Norberto Everson has a little bit higher value per snap. So maybe better performance just because of the backup duties. It's hard to say because he played good so far. So in these 3 games, he was actually the starter. And yeah, here as a backup, he had a really high value per snap. And here in those 3 games, it was lower. A great game against the Tennessee Titans, but despite winning, here 3 interceptions, here no interceptions, but still not the best value per snap. Performance, yeah, only a B. I would even argue for making that a C with 3 interceptions. But still, I mean, in those 3 games where he started, not the best value per snap. Norberto Everson, I mean, 25, you need to take that out of the equation. Other than that, also here, very low value per snap. Jacksonville Jaguars and Colts, better games. In the game against the LA Rams, only C performance. I can see why, but still, it's really hard. I don't know what to do at this point. Let's take a closer look at the analysis. What is Norberto Everson good in? I would say middle of the field, so not many deep passes. That's also part of our strategy. And of his player profile, his strength is accuracy. Arm improved quite a lot, I would say. I thought it was way worse, but no deep touchdowns, many in the mid-range, completion percentage of over 80 here in the area medium middle. That was definitely our strategy. He had problems with throwing the ball to the outside areas, 4 interceptions and 3 to the left, 2 and 1 to the right. Also the short one here, short middle. Not the best, but to be honest, also Mark Ricker, he is not that good compared to his stats from last year. Also problems with throwing to the left. Maybe that's just because Mark Da Silva plays on the left as wide receiver 1 and there's also the best corner. I don't know, that might just be an interpretation from my side. Both not perfect and I still don't know what to do, but Norberto Everson has played the last few games, played good, so he has the better overall, the better value per snap. So right now Norberto Everson is the starter again and will most likely also start in the playoffs. But let me know in the comment section below, who do you think should be the starter of this team? Norberto Everson or Mark Ricker? I just spent some time to try to get a glimpse of who's better. In my opinion, they're very similar. Norberto Everson with the better overall and long-term outlook. Norberto Everson is has only 2 years left on his contract, and Mark Ricker is on a long-term cheap contract, so we would be really able to spend a lot of cap to other players to create a really good support system for him if we decide that Mark Ricker is going to be the long-term solution. But as said, let me know in the comment section, who do you think should start, Norberto Everson or Mark Ricker? Did I change them for both packages? Let me double check. Yes. So now week 17, Norberto Everson back as the starter. I mean, he played either way because I drained Mark Ricker in training and we lost against the Buffalo Bills. Everson, 3 interceptions. I'm not changing it back right now because we should be safe for the last game of the year. Let me quickly check the standings. Are we already safe for the playoffs? Oh, not yet. Not yet. If we're losing and the Jacksonville Jaguars win... no, sorry, I forgot. We have a tie, so we directly won the division, just barely. So independent of what we're doing in week 18 and the final week of the season, we're in the playoffs. So Norberto Everson has one last chance to prove himself against the 4-12 Las Vegas Raiders. And we win 16 points, that's not a lot. And the only touchdown was from James Robinson as a rusher. The QB battle is really the overlining topic here in this episode. Maybe I overreacted and should have given Norberto Everson a little bit more time. But to be honest, with 4 interceptions in one game and now, 17 on the year. That's the most, tied with the 2025 season, but less touchdowns, way less yards. So I would argue that this was the worst season so far. Maybe his second one, played 2 games less and also had less interceptions. Yeah, in terms of QB rating, it's really the second worst season as I predicted. So he's not developing into the right direction, taking a step back. And yeah, let's take also a final look again at Mark Ricker to give us the best option to evaluate both of them. Mark Ricker also just below 90 QB rating, 3rd best of his career or 3rd worst, depending on if you're optimistic or pessimistic. But the last season seemed to be an outlier, could not prove to be the same threat for us than he has been for the LA Rams. That leaves us with an 11-5-1 record, so it's way better than I put it. So I think I overreacted a little bit with the quarterbacks, but to be honest, the quarterbacks were not the reason for us to perform well this season. It was the defense. 2nd best defense in terms of points allowed, 2nd best run defense, and also 5 best defense in terms of yards per game allowed. Brian Burns, outstanding season with 14 sacks. Kevin Driscoll, our free safety, finally stepping up, 4 interceptions. Actually, doubled his career interceptions or more than that. The defense is coming along. Offense really worries me. Not Mark De Silva. Great year. 9 touchdowns. So just barely missed the 2-digit touchdown mark. But 1,400 yards, 87 overall. Still, he's the wide receiver of the future. But the question is, who is the quarterback of the future? And if we look at the season, we basically lost against really good teams, except from the Tennessee Titans, but here also the Steelers. Okay, Bills also not the best. But most of our wins were against teams below 500 record. Yeah, maybe 11-5-1 is actually worse than it seems. I'm not sure. A weird season definitely comes to an end here with the open QB question. Let me know which QB should start. Maybe for next season, I will play the playoffs with Norberto Everson. But yeah, not yet sure. We'll think about that. Until then, I wish you a nice week. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.